Hello everyone, Source Codex aka Jazz Fusion Guy here with another chapter in using my East Oak digital smoker. Today's smoke is a whole chicken, about 7 pounds worth, and I used the technique of once I cleaned it, I separated the fascia of the skin from the muscle and put some bay leaves up in there, and so that's going to be tasty. And I also added bay leaves to the smoker box, and you may not have seen it in my last cooking video using this smoker. But I had the smoker sitting on the ground, and now I built a rolling cart, and the smoker is at a wonderful height for me. I mean, this is shoulder height right now for me. Easy read on the numbers here and the controls, and easy putting things in and out. And you may be able to see, I'm not sure, but this time I have the East Oak digital smoker internal probe in the breast, and I also, let's see if we can see it, it's a little tricky, there it is. They also have a internal probe in the thigh as well. And I've got these two remote controls. This one on the left came with the East Oak digital smoker, and this one came with the other probe that I bought separately. And just to make things a little less smoky in the garage while I'm working, I'm running a fan. And I've got some containers now to hold my wood chips and other various things. And I bought a bunch of various items to go with smoking. And I will report back in a few hours and let you know how this bird looks. Well, I'm back. Starting to brown up a little bit. Forgot to mention that I cut a half of a lemon kind of in a corkscrew fashion and pulled it out and stretched it out inside of the cavity of the chicken, which ought to add a nice little bit of flavor as well. The temperature was 117, I think it said. I've got, no, 177, and I've got about 2 hours and 16 minutes left. The internal temperature in the breast is 118, so that's good. Let's see. Internal temperature 118. 177 inside the smoker, and the thigh temperature says 130 on my second probe. So that thigh is getting warmer quicker than the breast, so I'm probably going to go by the breast temperature. Okie dokie. Well, my experiment with just opening the side door to let the smoke blow out is not enough. Getting complaints by the ladies smelling too much smoke in the house, so I've opened the garage door too. It's time for me to head out to the post office. We'll be back. Well, I'm back from the post office. One thing I wanted to mention too that's kind of a good tip, probably works with any smoker. when you've finished your preheat cycle and you need to put your meat in, it would be a good idea, like what I did is I got this pan and I had my bird sitting on it, and then I went ahead and I added my meat probes first. The one that comes with the unit, and then this other guy here. I went ahead and got all the probes in because when you open the door, you're going to lose a lot of heat and a lot of your smoke that you want to smoke it with. So if you have your probes already in and your meat on a pan or whatever, you get it all in quick, pull your probe lines out the door, shut it, and plug them all in, and then you're good to go. Just to say, probably a better setting for a whole chicken. This recipe that I got off the internet said 3 hours. I would say 3.5 to 4 hours for a good smoke and a good internal temperature. Didn't put any oils or rubbings or anything like that on the skin that some folks do to brown it up. I'm not worried so much about appearance as I'm worried about taste. And I can see it's browned up on some of the edges, but the overall body of the chicken, not that brown really. The pan that I put in, I'm glad I put it in, it's about, I'd say a third full of juices. So I prevented all that from having to be cleaned up. So the extra hour that I just keyed in, I've got it at there's around 55 minutes left, and the internal temperature now after 3 hours is at 172. I had reset it at 175. I had to reboot, so to speak. And internal temperature is still at 158. They say sometimes when you're smoking some meats, you can reach sort of a stall point before it starts to get warmer. And I think this bird is in a stall point right now. So we'll check back in. With this East Oak electric digital smoker cooker, I noticed this when I had it on the garage floor, and I've noticed it again on this stand I built, is that you would think all your drippings are going to be like in here. Well, not so with this brand of cooker. We got drippings, not a lot, from either front corner of the machine. If you look here, this is kind of moisted here. And the same situation is going on this corner. So in future smokings, I'm probably going to have some sort of absorbent pad put down. And if you're smoking in the garage, you don't really care. You just wheel this thing out of the way and wipe it up. But if you're smoking on a nice deck or something like that, and you want to keep your wood clean, you might want to think about an absorbent pad. And it doesn't get hot under here at all. I double checked that. Okay. Well, my internal temperature on the thigh of my chicken is 173. And let's see. the breast is 170. I'm going to go for probably getting the thigh up to 175, and then we're going to take her out. 165 is your minimum recommended temperature by the USDA, microbiological, blah, 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 blah. Well, there we go. The thigh's at 175. I just checked the probe on the breast, and it's at 174. It's time to get cracking on taking this thing out. Well, the smoker oven just switched over into warming phase at 120 Fahrenheit. And this is what a done chicken without any fancy rubbing or olive oil or any of that looks like. We're getting ready to take her out. Okay. Let's get these probes unconnected. Let's take it out. Alright. Next, we're going to do a little test of whether she's done or not. It's running clear. So we are done. Take her on into the kitchen. Get ready to slice her. Okay, we're going to let this old chicken rest for 5 or 10 minutes. And let me get this lemon out that I told you about. The dark places here on the chicken is where I put bay leaf in under the skin near the over top of the muscle, over top of the breast. There we go.
Plenty of juice. Well, we can tell that this thigh's not done, so we'll have to put that back in. We'll check the breast, because that was where I checked in the first place. Looks perfect, feels perfect.
So sometimes the temperature probe may be off. You have to always double check. There's the bay leaf.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think we ought to put those thighs back in the oven for?
I put them in till it got up a little hotter. But this is perfect. It's being a little stubborn coming out here. It feels about like a...
Ooh.
Looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's tender and moist, like a rotisserie chicken feels.
Why don't you have a taste?
Cut it.
Tell me what it tastes like to you.
Well, you can be the first taster. Thank you. The down here's the wishbone. I'm going to cut around that.
Nice and juicy.
Mm-hmm. Looks good. Alrighty.
So the chicken breasts look great. Very moist and juicy, and tastes great too. Oh yeah, got that smoky flavor too. For the rest of the chicken, because the thigh areas in between the body and the thighs, and some places at the deep part below this cooked breast, we saw some pink areas. So we're just going to finish it off, the smoked chicken, in the oven. Oh, that looks so good. Worth waiting for this late lunch at 3 o'clock. Well, lunch was great. The chicken had a definite smoky flavor, and we splashed a little bit of lemon juice on it and some pepper, and it was good to go. Thanks for watching.